I've been expecting you.
Do you guys want to talk about the 10.0 leaks? Is that okay? Do you guys mind? So, real quick, we're going to read through this. It's a Pastebin talking about the 10.0 leaks, and who knows if this is true. TLDR Dragon, Empire of Dragons, okay? That's the leaks. We're going to read through all this, but TLDR Dragons. The new expansion is officially being announced almost exactly a month from now. What is it? April something. April something next month is when they're announcing whatever the new expansion is. So, this is the alleged leak. Empire of Dragons is real. Shadowlands being planned as just 2 patches is technically true, since early on they decided to scrap a lot of the patch content because COVID plus EOD being pretty ambitious. EOD, keep in mind, is Empire of Dragons. Isn't that weird? The new Guild Wars 2 expansion is called End of Dragons. EOD. End of Dragons, EOD. Is Blizzard being shameless with their... If this is true, is Blizzard being shameless with their like search engine optimization? Are they trying to steal the SEO value of EOD from Guild Wars 2? Is this some shamelessness? I don't know. Okay, so EOD is pretty ambitious, so they needed more time. No new class or race except Dragonsworn, which is like a subclass available to all characters, plus their regular class. More on that below. Dragonsworn. All races can be all classes, but there's no lore explanation for it. Hey, at this point, just say fuck it, dude. What? I mean, when we're... Yeah, whatever. Honestly, at this point in retail WoW, who gives a fuck about the lore anyway? You can be a Draenei Warlock, but you won't see any Draenei Warlock NPCs. Okay? 2 continents. Dragon Isles and Lordaeron. Dragon Isles is for level 60 to 70 endgame stuff. Lordaeron is for 10 to 60. Lordaeron is completely rebuilt from scratch, like Draenor in Warlords of Draenor. The layout and geography of some zones are changed. For example, Quell Danos, Eversong, and Ghostlands are a single zone called Quell Thalos. You can transition between it and Cata-era Lordaeron at any point using the Living World feature. So Living World is also, speaking of Guild Wars 2, Living World is also a Guild Wars 2 functionality. That's a system Guild Wars 2 has, where depending on your quest progression or what your whatever, the world adapts to. I guess it's kind of like phasing in World of Warcraft. It's a similar system. Anyway, Guild Wars 2 has the terminology Living World. Where were we? Okay, the name is generic because they plan to do Living World updates for other locations in future patches and expansions. Stormwind and Elwynn Forest and Orgrimmar and Durotar are also getting updated, but only graphically, no new quests. A lot of the human buildings from Shadowlands data mining are from this. There's a huge profession revamp. Mining, herbalism, skinning, disenchanting, and fishing are removed and replaced with a single profession called gathering that all characters now have. Remaining professions are diversified with more complex recipes that require reagents from all types of gathering. They also help with player housing. Player housing! Guys, like... Professions in retail WoW have been dog shit since when? Like MoP, maybe? Professions are terrible. Professions are in an absolutely terrible state. So if they're gonna flip them on their head, okay, can it possibly be worse? I don't know. I'm suspect. It's pretty bad. They will also help with player housing. Player housing is the new big feature. Initially, there's only a single house in Stormwind or Orgrimmar, but houses in other locations will be added in future updates. I want to say, if you ever want to come to my house in the End of Dragons, if you ever want to come to a Staysafe TV house party, you need to subscribe right now. You need to be at least a 6-month sub to come to the Staysafe TV house parties, and they're going to be off the fucking chain. So if you're not a sub, you need to sub right now in order to come to the house parties. Otherwise, you're not invited. I'm going to have a bouncer standing out front. He's going to bounce your ass the fuck out of you. You're going to have to go to the Jokered TV house parties. Do you really want to have to go to a Jokered TV house party? No. You want to go to the Staysafe TV house party, okay? It's going to be way better. We're going to have all the hottest guys and all the hottest girls. and it's gonna be fucking awesome. We're just gonna be people are gonna be snorting magic powder in the back. House parties that I'm not invited to. Darkbringer, I'm giving you 6 month notice. Just maintain those subs for 6 months, and you're gonna be able to come to the house party. It's all good. Also, speaking of Guild Wars 2, dude, if this is true, they're gonna ninja loot EOD and they're gonna ninja living world. I hope they don't do Guild Wars dirty like this, because that's fucked up if true. But houses and other locations will be added in future updates. Professions make materials. Is anyone else really turned off by these like half fleshed out it's like the 5th time a new expansion comes out, they have some really new big exciting feature. It's like the Axiom, it's like the center of the expansion, but on launch they only like have half of it that's available. It's like, yeah, you trust me, it's going to be really cool, but we're going to finish it next patch, and then it's like the next patch and the next patch. Garrisons, it's like the fucking war fronts in BFA, or even islands to a certain extent in BFA, or there's another one that just is slipping out of my head. Anyway, it's true. Like if you're gonna have a new hype feature, have it all ready to fucking go and launch it on day one, because this half-assed thing that ends up being shitty later on is terrible. Torghast is always an obvious example. Yeah, true, Torghast. Professions make materials to upgrade your house and create decorations and furniture. Do you think there will be any player power tied to your house? Is it going to be like New World, where you can have a trophy hanging in your house that increases your DPS by 1%, or it increases your loot luck or rate of loot acquisition by 1%? Or I actually hope not. I actually hope that this system, player housing, is completely cosmetic and essentially optional. If it actually is mandatory insofar as it increases the power of your character in some way, I don't like it. Optional is good. Lordaeron is supposed to be a starting point for new players. It has a self-contained story that introduces them to the different races and NPCs of WoW. The only real connection to the main content of the expansion is the shared theme of light and void, plus some minor story threads. I think, based off of what the jailer said in his cinematic, tying into the current new raid tier of Shadowlands, the takeaway was I had to do what I was doing because there's some like cosmic threat. I forget exactly how he said it, but pretty much, yeah, the cosmos divided, or whatever the fuck he says. Yeah, so pretty much we already know that the big new bad guy is going to be some, void threat that's out there, and then only the jailer knew the secret plan, and so he had to do what he's doing in order to stop the void from. Okay, cool. Except by cool, I mean totally fucking not cool. The Dragon Isles are arranged like a dragon's skull. There's 5 zones. The Dragon Isles was actually a Warcraft 2 map. I used to love Warcraft 2 back in the day. Yeah, actually, here it is. Guys, I have a leak. These are the Dragon Isles from Warcraft 2. This was a Warcraft 2 map. And as you can see, it is shaped like a dragon. So this is the new expansion leak that we knew about in 1995 or something like that. Where were we? There's 5 zones, 1 for each flight, and a big dragon city that looks like Wormrest Temple at the center that connects all of the zones. Lots of new dragon flights like the Storm Dragons from Legion live there. There's what we never heard about ever again? The bad dragons that are trying to corrupt the timelines? What the fuck the infinite dragons. We never really, heard anything about those guys ever again, as far as I know. I'll be honest, man. I hate the Bronze Dragonflight. The Bronze Dragonflight is the stupidest fucking thing. Time travel should never be in World of Warcraft. Time travel is stupid as fuck. Fuck the Bronze Dragons. Everything involved with the Bronze Dragons is stupid and cringe, and it's all terrible. Fuck the Bronze Dragons. It's all stupid, tropey bullshit. It's lazy storytelling, okay? The only thing the Bronze Dragons have ever done was when Chromie used the temporal discombobulator to bring back classic WoW. That's it. And I don't even know if that's canon. I don't even know if that's in the lore, okay? It's probably not. It's probably just a dumb cinematic. But if you want to count that, then that's the only thing. Lots of new dragon flights like the Storm Dragons from Legion live there. There's the Midnight Dragonflight that's like Vexiona, okay? And the Lucent Dragonflight that's crystallized and light theme. Both are the main villains. Uh-oh. The Empire of Dragons is the dragon civilization on the Dragon Isles. They think dragons are superior and are mad at the aspects since the Titans didn't empower their dragonflights. Uh-oh. There's a bunch of other dragonflights that they never got empowered and they're jealous of the other dragon aspect dragonflights. The Midnight and Lucent dragonflights embraced the void and light so they could get empowered. They could get powered up like the main dragonflights. Wrathion opened the Dragon Isles to try to find a way to heal Azeroth, and now the Empire is trying to take over the world. This phrase, bad dragon is just repeating over and over again in my head. Bad dragon, and I'm just thinking about some real bad dragons. I just can't get it out of my head. You know, it's going to be stuck in my head for like 2.5 years. Time to order 4 more. Time to order 10 more, okay? We're going to do some bad dragon giveaways. Lots of new NPC races like HD gnolls, some goofy frog people, dragon men who are the regular citizens in the towns and villages on the Dragon Isles, African buffalo tauren who worship the sun. African buffalo tauren who worship the sun. I don't even know what the fuck that means, okay? A missing link between night elves and trolls who live in the Green Dragon Zone. Between night elves and trolls, oh, that's kind of cool, actually. And some iguana people who are like surfer dudes. Totally gnarly, brah. Surfs up, cowabunga. Dragonsworn is a subclass. You become a Dragonsworn during the intro quest, and it works like a second set of abilities you have on top of your regular class. There are 5 specs, 1 for each flight, but not every class has access to every spec. Warriors can be black, bronze, and red Dragonsworn. Priests can be green, red, or blue, and so on. Oh god. Does this sound good? Does this sound good, or does this sound like an overly complicated system that's going to be piled on top of everything else? Oh god, okay. You can switch your spec freely. Some random story details. Wrathion is the main Khadgar type hero for the expansion. New Forsaken leader is a council of Lillian, Kalia, Derek, Velinara, and Farinel. So the new Forsaken leader is like 5 different people. Tyrande uses the Tear of Elune from Shadowlands to regrow Teldrassil, but only in a cinematic. It's still burnt down in game. So there'll be a patch probably where Teldrassil is sprouting up again, okay? Silvermoon gets void corrupted, and the Blood Elves have to evacuate to Zolomon, which joined the Horde under Zul'jin's son. That's kind of cool, actually. I like the idea of Zolomon as like a capital city, right? And then it has like Blood Elf vibes also now. That could be kind of like visually cool. Forsaken live in rebuilt Lordaeron City now, and Undercity is left abandoned forever to symbolize that they're no longer slaves to this torment. So they rebuild the upper city of Lordaeron, okay? Gilneas gets reclaimed by the Alliance, but Stormguard is lost to the Scarlet Brotherhood and is a dungeon. So those are the leaks. Out of all the patch 10.0 leaks, this is probably the most believable for me. Does this seem believable to you guys? You think it sounds fake? I'll say this. Out of all of the leaks we've seen so far, this seems the most believable. I actually believe this the most. Primarily because, like, the other 3 leaks we've seen have included the Tinkerer class. And the upcoming expansion is going to have the Tinkerer class. And the Tinkerer class is going to be able to tinker. And you can tinker this and tinker that. Oh my god, no one wants the Tinker class. The Tinker class is lame. No one wants it. It's stupid. It's stupid. No, I get the feeling that they are kind of done adding class. I feel like they're very hesitant to add classes because every time you add a new class, it's a whole nother thing you have to balance and design around, and adding a class actually really complicates the game a lot, right? So I feel like they're very, very hesitant to add a class. Yeah. Tinker's lame. Tinker is lame. No one wants to tinker. Like, if anything, just make engineering cool again. Vanilla WoW had a tinker. You know what it's called? It's called engineering. It's cool.